Navigating the business world, man, it can feel like you're lost at sea without a map, right? You're working hard, you're pushing forward, but how do you really know you're heading in the right direction? It's a huge question, and the answer might just surprise you.
Let's just get right to it. This is the question that keeps founders and CEOs up at night. We've all seen it, companies with brilliant ideas, fantastic teams, and they just don't make it. So what's really going on here?
Okay, so if you ask most people, they'd probably guess the number one reason businesses fail is they run out of money. And yeah, that's a big one, but it's not the top killer, not even close. According to a deep dive by CB Insights, a staggering 42%, that's almost half, fail because of a much simpler, much more painful reason. They built something that nobody actually wanted.
So that's the biggest pitfall right there, no market need. But it's not the only one. Let's dig into some of these other hidden obstacles that can totally derail even the most promising ventures. And here's the real problem. A lot of the time, when you're in the thick of it, you just can't see the forest for the trees. You're too close to the project, too emotionally invested. Recognizing that your core idea might be flawed or that the market has completely shifted, that is incredibly tough to do from the inside. You know, this is exactly why the smartest leaders out there realize that looking for outside help isn't a sign of weakness. No way. It's actually a massive strategic advantage. It's about getting a fresh pair of eyes. So why bring in a guide? Well, for a huge 58% of businesses, it boils down to efficiency. Think about it. An expert partner helps you skip all that painful, expensive trial and error. You save a ton of time, and you save a ton of money. And for 56%, it's about plugging directly into expertise. Instead of spending months or even years trying to become an expert in a new market, you get instant access to people who live and breathe this stuff. You get the right answers right now. Then there's this. For almost half of businesses, it's about getting an objective viewpoint. You get a perspective that's 100% data-driven, totally free from office politics or the "we've always done it this way" mentality. Just the clear, unbiased truth.
So when you're up against those massive challenges and you need that efficient, expert, and totally objective perspective, well, that's precisely the moment you need a partner in your corner.
And this brings us to NAS Consulting and Research. This is a firm that's built around that very idea. They're not just about giving advice, they're about providing clear, unshakable direction. And they call themselves a business compass for a reason. Think about it. A compass doesn't steer the ship. You are still the captain. You make the decisions. But what the compass does is give you that absolutely reliable, true north, ensuring that every move you make takes you closer to your destination. That's what NAS does. So how do they do it? How do they provide that true north? Well, it's not magic, and it's definitely not guesswork. It's all built on proven, structured methodologies, designed to see your business from every possible angle. At the heart of it all is something called the 7S framework. It's a way of looking at the whole picture. It covers the hard elements, the stuff you can see, like your official strategy, your org chart, but, and this is crucial, it dives deep into the soft elements, the invisible stuff that really runs the show, like your team's culture, their skills, and their shared values. Because let's be honest, you can have the best strategy in the world, but if your culture isn't on board, it's going nowhere. And they put that framework into action with their Ignite approach. It's a three-part system. First, strategic consulting to map out your journey. Second, and this is key, they validate it all with hardcore market research, so you know you're building something people want. And finally, organizational learning, which makes sure your team has the skills and knowledge to actually make it all happen. It's a complete system designed to spark real, sustainable growth. Okay, so frameworks are awesome, but they're only as good as the people using them, right? So let's talk about the experience and the credibility that NAS brings to the table. Get a load of this number. The team at NAS has over 200 years of combined in-the-trenches business experience. That is 2 centuries of knowledge, of wins, of lessons learned, all ready to be focused on your business. And who trusts this experience? Well, some of the biggest names out there. We're talking about global tech giants like Google and national energy leaders like Pertamina. When companies at that level are turning to you for guidance, you know you're doing something right. And this right here, this is the seal of approval.
Being ISO 9001 certified isn't just a fancy logo. It's an internationally recognized benchmark for quality. It's a promise that their processes, their methods, everything they do is held to the highest possible standard. It's a commitment to excellence.
So, with all that expertise, those proven frameworks, and that commitment to quality, let's bring it all back to you and your company's next big move.
This quote just sums it all up perfectly. You can have the best plan, the best team, and all the money in the world, but if you haven't done your research, if you don't truly understand your market, it's all just a gamble. This is the secret to avoiding that number one reason for failure we talked about at the very beginning.
Which really leaves us with just one final pretty important question. I want you to think about your own business right now. If you had a compass right now for your company, do you know for sure which way it would be pointing? Is it pointed directly at success?